Hey, hey guys, and welcome to Hope It Helps. My guest on the show today is Mr. Ahmad Haffar. Ahmed, welcome to the show, man.
Hi, man. Thanks for having me. This place feels very weird. It's like I'm in love with it.
I'm glad. Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's very, very love oriented.
Thank you very much.
You look very cute right now. I don't know. Maybe it's the house.
All credit goes to the wife. She's the one who probably helps.
Lovely designer. Cheers to you.
Lovely designer indeed. So Ahmed, first of all, thanks so much for coming on the show, man. I really appreciate it. Obviously, I think like a lot of people, I found out about you through that very famous viral video when, you know, the Voice of Dubai and so on. I know you've been asked about this probably 10 billion times in podcasts, so I'm going to try to take it from a different angle today. So Ahmed, before we get into everything, why don't you give us a brief background about yourself and we'll take it from there.
Cool. Well, other than what people already know, and obviously the new viewers who are probably getting introduced to me for the first time.
Sure.
So Ahmad is a guy I like. He's a guy who's worked very, very hard, and I speak myself in the third person because I actually understand the struggles that I've been through.
Okay.
And I get to sort of look back at that all the time, and it helps me grow in a completely unique way. I would say that I'm the kind of person who just puts his head down, works a lot, and innovates new ideas. I don't like doing what other people are doing. I don't like doing what, say, the market's doing throughout the Middle East. And I've always considered myself to be a person who has a mind that caters more towards like the Western world, and I can think as a Westerner. And to prove that, I didn't teach myself English, not a single word, never seen an English book in my life. Je parle français, je suis libanais, so that's
okay. So you're the French side.
Yes,
okay.
French side my entire life.
Okay.
Never opened an English book, but somehow I'm fluent in English since the age of like 5, 6. So based on that, I have a sponge mind. And that's what my mom said since I was a kid. I have the ability to sort of like pick up things from nothing and make something out of them.
Sure.
And in the past few years, I've been trying to look outwards, so beyond myself, which is the first time in my life where I don't just think about myself, talk about myself all the time, but also the people around me and everywhere in between. This has helped me build a team, build companies, grow, and enter life as an entrepreneur other than just an artist.
Yeah.
And I have a company called Mindloop Studios, it's an audio post-production house. It's in Media City. It's been in Dubai for 22 years, and I've been the happy co-owner for the past 5 years.
Mabruk, man.
Thank you so much. It's been a major, major, major success. And we do everything audio from voiceover, sound design, and everywhere in between. So that's how I know the big clients. And I have a school that teaches one-on-one, custom-made, tailor-made programs for the creative media field titled On the Field Creative Academy.
Okay.
And we teach audio and voiceover in a 12 to 17-week program designed for each and every person, one-on-one. And every program is made from zero. And then we connect them to the network, which is our network. And we help them get work locally, regionally, and internationally.
Oh, that's beautiful, man.
Literally nothing like it.
So very interesting. Okay, so I'm just want to, we're going to sidetrack a little bit from where I wanted to go, but this is really interesting. So use one-on-one coaching, it's a one-on-one program to help you develop your voice, not only as a voiceover artist, or if you want to be, let's say, a musician or so on. So let me ask you, given now you've been doing this for quite a while, different, brands, different tones, lots of different things. And I know your background is you're a musician. I know you've been, on The Voice, and you've produced music for some very big Arabic names as well.
Yes, I have.
So I know you've been playing music your whole life. So how did that knowledge of music and tonality and stuff influence the work you do now as a voiceover artist? Because I feel that you understand, you have an ear for the sound, how it should sound, the clarity of it, how to deliver that message maybe to different audiences. So could you tell us more about how music has impacted the work that you do right now?
Absolutely. So it's very, very complicated. It goes into so many layers. I have no idea what I'm doing. I have literally no idea what I'm doing.
All right.
I found a way, like, for example, when I think of my school, I found a way to turn into actual programs that are creative, that are able to change people's lives. And we've successfully changed 65 people's lives in the past year and a half. Like,
amazing.
Literally changed their lives. So the school is sort of like a focus on people's character and personality. So whether they're learning the audio program or the voiceover and voice acting program, what we actually do is that we change their entire mentality, their mindset. We teach them how the market functions, how they should act in the market, and we teach them what works in the market. So we do very little theory and a lot of experience. That's why it's an experience-based, one-on-one media conversation-based school.
Awesome.
And then from there, we also teach them the application, which is obviously the exercises and yada, yada, yada. But what's unique about it is that it's made from zero. So when it comes to me, it's a journey where whenever I was presented with a challenge, I would try to innovate my own way of doing it. And that's because of my lack of understanding of what voiceover is or what music composition is or anything. No one ever taught me anything. So I don't really have any background. I personally don't listen to a lot of podcasts. I don't watch many videos. I don't watch tutorials. And for a lot of musicians out there that are probably angry at me, I don't even know how to play a chord. I don't know what a C chord is. I don't know anything. But when you look, I've got 12, 14 awards, best musician in the whatever, Middle East, UAE, stuff like that. A lot of those happen because of the fact that I'm very connected to the things that I do. So I think that answers your question. I literally have a connection with my work, whether it's through the clients that I, custom made, tailor made, tones for that fits their brand, that fits their audience. It's a conversation. So to also elaborate on your question, a lot of voiceovers or musicians receive a brief, and in this brief they have a tone that the client wants to achieve or whatever. But nobody, say from the voiceover perspective, nobody actually comes up with a completely different tone that doesn't sound like them, because that's more like voice acting when you think Family Guy or whatever. So I've taken that art, let's say, and I implemented it into the commercial world without sounding like I'm acting. I'm just actually performing.
So voice acting and doing voiceovers are two different things.
Yes, they're two completely separate
things. Can you tell us the difference? Because to someone like me or someone who doesn't understand the field or know about the field, it would sound like the same thing to me.
Yes, absolutely. The difference is, I'll make it very easy. There's a difference between something called sound effects and sound design, which is also something very similar. Sound design is basically the room. Say me and you got recorded, we were on Netflix on a TV show, you can hear that these people are being in a room or being recorded in a room, right? Yeah. So that's the sound design. Even if their mics doesn't pick that up, that is added on later as a layer by the audio engineer.
Okay.
A sound effect is when something immediate happens, such as a boof or a tsh. That is a sound effect because it affects what's going on, while the sound design fills up the room.
Ah, that's interesting.
Exactly.
Okay.
So without the sound design, you cannot have the sound effect. So without voiceover, you cannot have voice acting.
Okay, so voiceover is, let's say, the foundation, and voice acting is that next level approach.
Yes, 100%. Okay. It's more of a more in-depth, character-based, whatever, because a lot of the voiceovers you hear from radio ads, TV, online, and being in the business for quite a lot of years myself, over half a decade, recording, meeting, and sitting with voiceovers, a lot of them sound the same. A lot of them are like, oh, I've heard this guy on the radio for the past 10 years, and it's literally the same delivery, the same whatever. So I guess for me, as a business, to convince my clients that, maybe I should give it a shot many years ago, I would come up with a style and a tone and an approach and so many things to show them how much better their brand could be represented using a voiceover. Yeah. And it started from there, and boom.
It just it kind of exploded from that, right?
Literally. So, yeah.
I remember when I was doing my research, and it was funny how, because I think a lot of people now know you for a certain specific thing, even though you have a production house, you've delved into comedy.
I know.
You do so many different things.
It's insane.
But to everyone, the majority of us know you because of the voice, because it's a very popular, famous voice.
Look, when it comes to my voice, I am extremely proud of what I've achieved. I remember 3-4 years ago when I was sitting with my sister or with my mom on the phone, and I would literally, when I first discovered how to change my tone and stuff like that, from a high tone, low tone, mid tone, whatever it is, and I would tell my mom, I'd be speaking to her and be like, I want you to meet a friend and whatever, and my mom would be like, okay, and this is how I introduced her to the idea, and I'd be like, Mama, this is Joe, meet Joe, and Joe would be like, مرحبا نرحب بكم. Hi, Mom. Nice to meet you. And Mom would be like, is that a machine? Am I listening to a machine? And that's when I discovered that kind of thing. And when you associate something that a person does for a brand or to assist a brand, voice is the easiest thing to recognize, right? Because the music that I've created for many brands, most people don't know I've done it. But the media field itself or the industry itself know very well what I've done. And that's what matters to me, because that's the business side, right?
Sure.
So when I go to people and I surprise them with what I've done, they lose it. Or even, for example, insurance market, when I've created the music, the sonic branding is what we call, which me and you are going to talk about, the audio brand identity, which is different than a jingle. For insurance market, I had no idea I was going to go that viral. And the owner, who's a good friend of mine, Avinash, knows that I made it in like 10 minutes. And he knows that I'm just like, hey man, this is what I came up with and I'm 100% sure it's going to work. But for it to work to this level, I had no idea. But to change like all of those elements and tonalities, whatever, people literally on my Instagram are like, oh, stop acting like you did that and blah, blah, blah. I just immediately block them and delete their message. And like, yo, there's a whole article written about it, with the owner next to me. But like, it is hard to believe what people have done, especially when it comes to changing tonalities, whatever. Like a friend of mine, he does a lot of the Morgan Freeman, he does over 52 character voices, and I can't do any of that. So Eli, his name's Eli. He's an amazing voiceover artist. We use him a lot. He's extremely known for his voice as well. But it's mostly like he does so many character voices and then he has his voice. While for me, I use that one voice and then spread it out to so many different avenues from my voice without trying to be anybody else, without imitating anybody else. And that's it, because I'm horrible at imitating. I'm horrible at imitating anyone. So I guess that's why you can see that voice acting and voiceover really are different. I can do voice acting, but it wouldn't be, say, a known character. I can innovate a new voice for a character if it's on an animation show or whatever. Like I would love to do what Justin's doing with Rick and Morty. He's a genius, and that's the kind of stuff that I would find myself fitting with. You know what I mean? Because I can change immediately. And I guess that's a little bit of how my personal journey has been in innovating these sort of products for the same market.
What I've noticed about you very quickly is if I told you to explain your process to me, you would struggle, because it seems to be very intuitive for you. How you take, whether something that can take you 10 minutes and have such big exposure and be successful, but besides that, the different types of things, sounds or voices or tonalities that you've created. If I told you, I'm like, Ahmed, sit me down and walk me through step by step, you would probably, it sounds like you would struggle to do that, because it feels instinctive to you. Like, this feels right. You have the experience both musically and the work you've done. Boom. Like it doesn't, it's hard to teach something like that. It seems to come naturally to you.
Yes, to me. But that's why I opened the school. Because when you put a new person in front of me, I know how to completely understand them, design them, and then get the right teacher to teach them, explain to the teacher what I've discovered about this person, their program that's created from zero, and yada, yada, yada. So let's just say I get excited about understanding others more than just understanding my own process. I don't doubt my own process. I don't even speak about it. It's just that I sit down, I do it, and I listen to it, and I listen to it the next day, and I'm like, this is amazing. And when you go to a client and you can see their smile and you can see their whoa sort of vibe, you're like, all right, I think I did all right.
Looks good.
So when it comes to like a lot of the voices that you've heard, when some of them are more calming or whatever, it's genuinely just designed like that. And there's been voiceovers in the market for over 20 years. That have done incredible things. It's just that I'm literally doing my very own thing. And voiceover is only one of the many things that I do in my life. So,
And let's dive. So sticking on the voice for just a second, because I think given the work that you do, it's cool for you to be able to, you can look back at your earlier work, maybe when you first started doing this compared to now. Do you ever reflect back and listen to maybe something you produced 5 years ago when you were still kind of figuring out like, oh, this is something I actually might want to pursue or do further? Do you ever reflect back and go like, oh, why was it like that? Or how did I do that? And like, it's so much better now. And like, what were the mistakes? Do you know what I mean?
Yes and no. I mean, I look back to some of my very early work, especially because I started with music. Voice came later. With sonic branding, that was my initial start. And when I listen to sonic brandings, I've done almost a decade now. When I first started, and I listen to it today, and I'm like, it's genuinely still as good as it is today. It's just that Back then, let's just say I was much less structured than I am today, because now I really know how to understand the brand like insanely well. And that's why a lot of like AAA major brands across the Middle East have chosen me, one person, to create their brand identity music rather than a studio or let's just say an agency, a worldwide agency like in the UK or in the US, like the guys who composed the Para-pa-pa-pa, right? Very famous sonic branding for McDonald's. So for them to choose me for the region in the Middle East, for companies based in the Middle East, proves that I sort of found my way around things. And of course, a lot of like, if you put it into perspective, my voice is heard by what, 10, 50 million people. My music is heard by over 40, 50 million. It's absolutely insane. Even when I think about it, I'm like, I would be walking around and my music will pop up in different malls, like literally. Right now, I'm starting to work on a project for a mall. Well, they have 3 malls in the UAE and a bunch around the Middle East. And just like the other malls, I'm going to start walking in there when I'm done with the project and be like, that's me again. Like, but then I look at everybody around me and I'm like, do you have no idea that I'm here? Like, I literally made this. Like, I personally composed, anyway, whatever. So, and a lot of the other times with the voices, I like doing it as pranks. So I would go to someone and be like, hey, don't I sound like the guy on InstaShop or whatever? And they'd be like, what do you mean? I'd be like, because this is my normal voice. And I'd be like, I don't know, what was it? I remember, shops you love delivered better. Download the InstaShop app. And then in the Arabic, it's very... and it's so different. محلات حبونا توصيل تسألونا حملوا تطبيق InstaShop الآن. شو was it? اطلب الآن. Like, it's just the way that I craft these sort of things and I go to people and I surprise them with it. Their reaction is always priceless. It's literally out of this world. I love that.
Even me sitting right here now, like hearing these voices, and I'm like, I'm seeing it come out of like your mouth, like the person's mouth who made it. It's very surreal, to be very honest. Moving on to, so I know one thing that you said in, I'm going to reference the podcast I watched a lot because there was a lot of good stuff in there.
Thank you.
One thing about it was you said that you don't, because something that I think a lot of us get trapped in is identity. And what do I mean by that? Like, my name is Khalid, I am a blank. And I feel like we pigeonhole hold ourselves sometimes into this box. Like, I can only be this and that. And that's why I've heard you even in this conversation and on the last podcast is, yes, the voice is great. Yes, it's something you love to do. And yes, alhamdulillah, like it's done fantastically well. But there's more to me than that. You know, there's all these different things. You know, you do production, you're a comedian, musician. I guess, which do you find the most challenging? And if you had to describe, like, if I know you do many things, but I'm going to be like, Ahmed, you have to tell me, I'm going to like label you, put an identity on you. What are you going to tell me? I, Ahmed, am a
musician.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah.
Always has been, always will be.
So all stems from that.
It all stems from that. It always did. Even like running a music business-oriented business, voiceover production house, or the school. I mean, I'm a school dropout. I'm sure you've heard that before. And I literally don't have a high school degree. I have nothing. And to run a school is beyond my own imagination. But to run a school that doesn't teach theory is like the biggest, you know, the hell with you guys to the school that kicked me out of school.
Sure.
And they didn't kick me out because I'm like, you know, I did something wrong. It's just because I failed multiple times. And they're like, you know, like the guy's not stupid. Clearly, he has a brain. So why can't he study? And I don't know. It's just I found my way to really want to help people in my own way. Like when I go to clients or I go to different people, whatever, and I see and feel what they've been going through, I genuinely like making a difference in their lives. And I'm not as active, say on social media like other people. I don't really need people's approval for my life. For what I've done at the age of 28, 29 has far exceeded my own expectations. So it doesn't matter if they know me for this or they know me for that. But what makes me happy is that when someone discovers me and they get inspired from that, it's the equivalent of me discovering some of my favorite musicians or favorite artists when I was young and being like, oh, I'm going to binge watch all of this. I'm going to binge watch all of this, ladies and gentlemen. And I enjoy that because the sense of exploration is better than just being in everyone's face. Imagine if you work with someone and every single day they're just showing up in your face without even wanting to be there. It's just a little bit annoying. So when I know that a lot of the work that I'm gonna do will be heard by an insane amount of people, of course I'm gonna do my best to also think of those people, not just the client that's paying me the money, but also like, how do I make them happy? How do I make the people happy? How do I create a project that's actually going to leave an everlasting good vibe from them? How do I help a brand be seen differently?
Yeah.
How do I fix a brand image? How do I grow a brand image? So whenever a client is doing a rebrand, they immediately call me like, hey dude, we need you to write a tagline. We need you to be our voice, whatever. Or even the idea of the official voice. So I got into a little trouble with the local voiceovers because they're like, what does Ahmad mean by saying he's the official voice of?
Yeah.
And it's literally what it sounds like. I am the official voice of. So that means I go to certain brands and I convince them to sign me as their official voice. And that's, again, another tactic I've done to guarantee business and grow my portfolio, my network, my net worth, all of those things.
Yeah.
So what I do is that I go to a brand, I'm like, hey, any male voiceover you're going to use from now on is going to be me. Legally, on contract for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, whatever it is.
Sure.
And this is why. I would make them great deals. This all guarantees business to my businesses and ensures our growth by innovating new products. So for example, to get it once and done with, especially for those who still don't know what this is, I'm going to pull up one of my favorite contracts that I've been extremely happy to do, which is InstaShop. And what happened with InstaShop, in case you guys are watching, hi, I love you. I
just ordered from them right now. So it's
amazing, right? I literally just walked there. I didn't do anything. I just got up and I walked there and I told them like, hey guys, this is my idea, this is what I want to do, blah, blah, and they've never heard of it. And a lot of people haven't heard of the idea of an official voice. What they usually know is we need a voiceover, send us options, we'll go ahead. And if a client makes a voiceover the official voice, then that person is not allowed to, let's say they're not allowed to do voiceovers for other brands, right? Because they're the official voice of the, so I flip the table.
Okay.
So I can work with whoever I want, but they're not allowed to work with anyone else for the period of this. And the added value is mainly due to the insane amount of talent, effort, customization, good price, and everything in between. So if you can see this one, you've got InstaShop DMCC, Ahmad Haffar, blah 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 blah, goes all the way down, and as you can see, there's my signature and the owners of InstaShop signatures. And that's how I got that concept through. Yeah. And so far, I'm the official voice of 12 brands and the official composer of 6 brands.
6, nice.
Which means these particular brands are legally not allowed to use any other voiceover or any other musician for the period of that contract. Okay. And during that contract, I spent 24/7 to prove the value of that contract to them.
So look, I think if you know the value you can deliver, and if you know how much effort you're gonna put into this, so then it's fair on both sides. Number one, you don't have to worry about this for X amount of time, and not only that, the guaranteed end result is gonna be something you want and something that's gonna work.
It's insane,
right?
It's insane.
So, and I know this is something cool. So I know recently, or I don't know how long ago it's been, maybe a year ago, you decided to do stand-up comedy. So I'm like, okay. That's a new angle, which for the record, I'm a huge stand-up comedy fan. Huge. All the big boys, everyone, whoever you want, I probably listened, I probably love them. Now, what was interesting to me is you've always been the official voice, and most of your work has been, it's audio, not visual.
Yeah.
So how was that first? Because I know you did a show, I can't remember, I don't know when it was, but I know you did your first stand-up show. How was that experience? Did you feel like, oh, finally it's my voice and it's comedy and I can be seen and it's me?
Yes. I've been a fan of comedy since forever, and I will always be a fan of comedy, and I've been doing stand-up comedy for around 8-9 years.
It's been that long. So I didn't know it's been that long. Okay.
Yeah. It's just that I got so busy through everything, it wasn't something to focus on. So I guess I put all of the things I've been through and I just wrote them on a script. And you can't imagine to do a stand-up special on TV, so that's going on forever, and at least 100,000-200,000 people are gonna watch it. That's a lot of it feels heavy. So for me, it's like I like improv as much as I like writing stuff. So my show on Stars Play right now, Ahmad Haffar Rated R, is actually just like happening on the spot. What I wrote, like, for example, to remember, like, imagine remembering literally an hour's worth of content.
I never understand how these comedians do this, man.
So easy. So for me, it's just very easy. I don't find any effort while doing it.
Okay.
When I do shows around town, I just feel very good about it. Like, I'm not there just to make them laugh. I'm there to make myself laugh.
Yeah, of course.
And
Yeah.
I'm happy that they find it funny too.
Exactly.
And that's where I get to explore my non-professional side, I guess, because when you're in a corporate lifestyle 24/7, it's nice to just go out there and be a human being. And I feel like I do across all the avenues I do, from business, voiceover, music, to school, stand-up comedy, hosting events. I don't know which one I want to stick with forever, but stand-up comedy is definitely one of them. And I have been speaking to a major streaming platform recently, and trying to see what's up. And I'm planning on releasing my second stand-up special with the Stars Play this year. As soon as they get back to me. And they're like, that's hilarious. We'll let you know. It's just... Because they know I'm a little bit pricey now, and they're like, "You want how much?" I'm like, "Yo, I'm growing, so it's not cheap. It's not for free, right?" So no, it's all jokes. I love them. I love everyone. I guess in my life, I don't find myself to be a bad person. I don't find myself to be a racist. I don't find myself to be a demanding or demeaning or just a horrible human being in any way, shape, or form. So whatever I say on stage is where I get to play with my dark humor.
Yeah, of course.
I get to really enjoy saying things that are just completely unacceptable. And because of that, I get to just innovate on the spot. Yeah. And I'll prove it to you and to everybody who's going to watch this. Let's make it a little bit more fun. I want you to give me 3 topics, okay? I'm going to show this to you. We haven't rehearsed anything. Can you tell them? Like, I'm not lying.
This is really, I'm just as surprised as this is here.
Literally. Okay. So give me 3 topics. They could be literally anything at all, and watch the magic unfold.
Okay.
All right? Okay.
All right. Painting, kangaroos, and you love cars? Cars.
Painting, kangaroos, and cars. Just one alteration. What kind of car? Like, you want a sports car, sedan?
Let's go for a sedan. It's funny.
A sedan? Yeah. Okay, so we're like the fancy sedans and stuff. Okay, so we've got painting, kangaroo, and what's the third one? Sedans, right? Yes. Okay, check this out. All right, so what happens is I'm going to be carrying this mic right here. Okay, I'm going to make sure that I don't disconnect it from there. Yeah. Because I got to take the whole position. And this is literally how it works. I turn back. I breathe in, I breathe out, and then I start. Okay. We'll see. So, last time, painting, kangaroos, sedan. It'll be done in that order.
Yes.
Done?
Done.
All right. Everybody liked painting titties when we were young. It's just such a, honestly, if you have the ability to paint something, you're going to paint the things that people don't want you to paint. Tiny penises, titties. Butts are always nobody's got, well, Kim Kardashian, but anybody else does not have. My mother, I'm joking. Pretty close. I don't know. The act of painting is beautiful. And then you've got multiple different types of painting. You've got the kind of painting where you go and you're just beautiful. I can see the stroke. Oh, through that stroke, his mother died. She went, it's insane. 100 million euro. It's insane. These people pay a lot of fucking money for paint. And we've got some conceptual artists who take painting to another world. They literally put fucking paint on, just liquid paint. They fucking put their ass there and they just fucking put it on a canvas. That's a fucking painting right there. They sell the shit out. It's for charity. It's for autism. It's my vagina on a canvas. And you can see Mother Earth in there. Just to describe the world and how it goes. It's fucked up. They keep talking art as a universal language. I was to say, art, painting is a universal language, $112 million for this painting. What the fuck? Universal language? You motherfuckers haven't even been to Australia yet. The fuck talking about? Half of you guys live in the fucking country and just staying there. It's ooh, it's beautiful. I just love it. Fuck. Haven't seen shit. Haven't felt shit. It's fucked up. Swear to God. And when I think of all these paintings and where they're going, how they're making them and everything like that, because when I make music, I'm sort of painting myself, right? And I'm playing a melody with one hand, jacking off with another, just to keep the energy flowing. That's how you get the inshu. I'm joking. But seriously, you gotta get out of the world. You gotta see stuff. And a lot of painters are just like in a dark room imagining things, which is amazing. It's amazing that their imagination, LSD, their imagination has the ability to get to that level. DMT, it's just amazing. Magic mushrooms, it's incredible how they can reach that level. Heavy drugs. It's just, I keep thinking of that all the time. All the time. It's beautiful. But like, have they ever genuinely been to enough countries to experience different cultures? And I just mentioned Australia because that motherfucking country is really far. Like, if you want to go there, you gotta want to go there. It's not like we're going to Australia, it's like an hour away. It's fucking 18 hours. You're going on the other side of the fucking planet. You're going to the planet's asshole, literally. You know, this is the Earth. Australia's here, it's the asshole. It's like, the fuck? It's like, when am I going to go to fucking Australia? What's there? I'm going to go see the kangaroos? Like, the fuck? Hell yeah. Fucking amazing. They got their fucking babies in their fucking belly. They were in their belly and then they were outside of their belly at the same time. It's amazing. A pregnant kangaroo is carrying babies in and out. That's fucking metal. Just give it a guitar. It's fucking insane. I love that. And they're really fast. I like kangaroos because they're really fast. Have you ever seen a kangaroo and a painter just running next to each other? The painter's like, it's all pain. And the kangaroo's like, the fuck you talking about? Fuck you want, huh? It's fucked up. It's completely insane. But like, a lot of countries are very, very entitled in every way. Like, I love the idea of a kangaroo. I love the idea of animals who are just running freely. Just going with the wind. The way we see them, the way they flow. How amazing. Some rhinos are fucking each other right there, but that's okay. And there's a lion taking a shit in his mother's mouth. Very acceptable in the kingdom of animals. It's beautiful. I love it. We're just sitting in fucking fancy sedans the whole fucking day. Like, when's the next meeting? Honey, we need to get some work. Yes. You know what I mean? It's fucked up. We're so lazy. We're lazy motherfucker. Kangaroos are fucking lions are just fucking and shitting. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It's fucked up. And then you've got the fucking painters all the way on the side. It's like, life is so hard. I don't know how to feel it. Fucking hell. Anyway, that was my opinion. Thank you. There you go. And yeah, I can't look at you while I'm doing that because there's a whole there's imaginary people there.
I know. But bro, that was pretty fucking funny and right off the cuff.
Yeah, I didn't write anything. I didn't practice nothing. Just
like respect. You couldn't have because I didn't even know what I was like when you gave me like.
Yeah, like some of it is good, some of it is not that good. Whatever's good, I keep. Whatever's not good, I don't keep. That's how stand-up comedy works.
It's pretty simple.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
It's like the delivery. If you look good enough, if your tits are big. No, that's based on my dad. Okay, out of the comedy mode. Out of the comedy. Back to professional. So when you know, a lot of people say, I wish I had enough talents to do, or a talent to do something in life. I quite literally have too many talents. Like it's and it's not that good of a thing because, oh my God, he's showing off. He has so many talents. No, like, yes, for sure, I'm showing off a little bit, but it's not in I'm not trying to show off. I'm not trying to tell you I'm better than anybody. What I'm trying to say is I'm frustrated by having so many talents and not enough output in it. I'm pretty sure some people watching this are definitely right now feeling the same thing. Don't tell me you're not feeling the same thing. Look at you, Khalid. You've done quite a lot for yourself. You've done a hell of podcast. You've gotten a hell of a lot of people, and everywhere in between, all you thought about is how to get the message through to the people, for the people, with the people, for the brands, with the brands, and everywhere in between.
Sure.
That is an art in itself. So you see, a lot of people are talented, but they're not aware that they're talented because they're so dragged into the world that they want to be dragged into. They're so dragged into like not only the reality, but the fictional reality that they've made of themselves.
Yeah.
And then when they look at other people who have some form of success or some form of talent, whatever, it does take the kind of work that you think you actually need it. Like, for example, I keep talking about my beard. I literally don't have time to shave my beard. Every time I go to the mirror, I'm like, Allah, I can tell, like, it's just like, you know, if I wear a kandura, it's like, ya sheikh, I'm like, ya khayru. I get it, you know, like, you have to work hard.
Just angle the camera, the mic. Just angle the mic a little bit towards
you gotta work hard. You gotta work smart. You gotta work in a way where you understand yourself through the process rather than understanding what others want from you or what others are asking of you.
Yeah.
And the reality about human beings is that they talk way too much.
We do.
Way
we
too
talk
much.
a lot. We do.
They search for motivation. They search for people to tell them things. They search for the reality that they want to be in. They support the right people because they have, in their opinion, the right outcomes for them. But in reality, it goes down to self. Like, I've met a lot of people in my life, all the way from Snoop Dogg, French Montana, DJ Khaled, what's his name? Andrew Tate. Like, so many people I've met in my life, and every time I had a conversation with them, they are nothing like what you know them for. They're completely different people in real life.
Yeah.
And when people ask me, it's like, oh, you're different than when I watch your videos. And I'm like, yeah, I'm aware. I'm a human being. And I have decided to follow more of a business, commercial oriented life rather than just be on social media and try to be like, because my work is literally known by tens of millions of people. So I've got nothing to prove. Whether they know I did it or I didn't do it, it's fun. Of course it's fun. I'm not saying it's not fun. But for me, it's when I went to the client and I pitched the idea, that's the good stuff.
That's your validation.
That's my validation right there. That's what feels really good.
Yeah.
And then I'd be on the radio or whatever, and one of my ads come on, one of my jingles come on, one of my songs come on, one of my sonic branding comes on, and then I go to the mall and it's me, and then I go to wherever and it's me, and then I fly on a plane, it's me, and then whatever it is that I do, it's me, and I'm like, God damn! How much more validation do you need before the age of 30, Ahmad? You're good. You're okay. You're all right. And I speak to a lot of, like, from the voiceover, like, there's a guy called Nassim who I love more than anything. He's a good friend of mine, and you also hear his voice on Emirates. And Nassim is such a proper voiceover. Like, he knows how to speak in it. Like, it's just beautiful. It's just gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I've known him for quite a long time, and he always gives me advice. It's not like, oh, you've done a lot, blah, 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 blah. And how'd you do that? Blah, blah. He just goes and is like, listen, on top of everything you've accomplished, this is what I suggest that you should keep in mind. So when you are in such a beautiful community of people who actually understand what they've done for decades, I don't go and I say I'm better than them. I say I'm different. And I am different. Because I bring my clients different results. I bring them holistic solutions from A to Z. I assist their marketing. I assist their branding. I assist so many things. So it's way beyond just me picking up a script and reading.
Yeah.
But when you do hear my voice on certain, like recently I did way too many. I'm now the voice of Centerpoint. I'm in Mattress Store, Car Switch. What else am I the voice of? Car Switch, Pet Corner, Saudi German Hospital, caring like family. Like, the way it comes out, it's like you believe that voice, and that's the talent.
Yeah.
That's the actual
that's the
talent.
Yeah, that's the secret sauce. That's that secret sauce.
Exactly. So, what you guys are gonna start hearing soon, a lot of the cool stuff. You've got the Pet Corner, your family pet store. Doesn't this voice sound exactly like a pet shop should sound like? Giving you the best for all of your domestic, beautiful, gorgeous animals. This one is for the pets. Pet Corner, your family pet store. Literally, a few weeks from today, you're going to hear this on the radio billions of times. And online, everywhere in between. And not just here. All over the UAE.
Oh, wow.
And of course,
Okay.
and some of my brands, like the music for Rixos hotels, I don't know if people know this, but every time you're in a Rixos on planet Earth, whether in the lobby or you called them on the phone or whatever, you went to the rooms, that's my music.
Yeah.
Worldwide. So I could go to Germany, go to Rixos Hotel in Germany, and literally hear my own music. And that's insane.
That's pretty cool.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And it fits so well. So I guess when it comes to being all over the place, I'm really good at that because I'm always all over the place. But at the same time, I structure everything in a very unique manner to deliver those messages.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, and I think it's interesting that you say that because that's one area I feel that I struggle with a lot, which is structure. Go ahead. Structure is something that I'm the kind of person, I'm sure that people other like me, I get motivated quickly and I'm like, okay, I want to do this. And it comes from a pure enjoyment, curiosity. Oh, I want to learn editing, whatever. But if I do this, the second I do this, I write tomorrow, 10 a.m., whatever, whenever, I have to do this to like practice and improve. Once it becomes like something I'm making myself have to do than something that naturally came out on me wanting to do, it changes everything for me. And it's something that I'm still struggling with and trying to get better at. I think because in order to build, in order to be successful long term, unfortunately, whether I like it or not, whether I want to be on social media or not, whether all this shit, I need to have discipline. because this instantaneous stuff comes and goes. It's feeling. It's this in the moment. I felt this. My motivation is
Structure is everything.
Structure is everything.
Structure is everything.
It really
and
is.
not only that, from the content that you produce on your podcast, you're an educational platform. I mean, the kind of people are bringing it on. And even for me, like, I get very spontaneous in a moment, but then I've got 10 billion things running in the background.
Sure.
And that's what puts my mindset on there. And you always find ways to get it out. Like, for example, quite literally just yesterday, I was grabbing a shower and I had one of my friends over at home. So I called them and I'm like, yo. I was in the shower. I was naked under the water and I came up with a radio jingle for one of my clients. Because when I do sonic branding, I give them the 4 seconds, a radio jingle, a corporate piece, an IVR piece, many adaptations, many alterations for all their touch points. So it's quite a humongous package. But there's always a radio jingle in there. And I love making a radio jingle from a sonic branding.
Interesting. So that's very interesting because that when on the last podcast you mentioned the difference between a jingle and sonic branding, and now that we've discussed earlier about voice over and voice acting. So sonic branding, like voice over, is the foundation.
Yes.
And the brand and everything else is built on top of that.
Ching, ching, ching. 100%.
Fantastic.
100%.
Okay, now it makes a lot of sense.
And
okay.
the way that you build that is completely different. So I called my friend. I'm like, yo. He's like, what do you want? I'm like, get my phone from the charger, put on the voice memos, open the door, just put a little bit in. And he's like, I'm not gay. I'm like, no, you're not gay, but like, just do it. I need to do it. And then he actually recorded it. And now I'm going to go make it and 100% is going to get approved.
Sure.
And when it comes, it comes. And I'll even... Just because some people are like, he didn't do that. Well, guess what? I did. You can even hear the water.
The mattress store is all you need.
No way.
Okay.
So in just a few weeks, you're going to hear this on the radio. And if you stumble on this podcast, you're going to be like, he made it in a very haram place.
Well, they do say some of the best ideas come in the shower, right?
Literally.
Right.
And for me, that is a literal thing. A lot of
Yeah.
the brands from Barakat, Brands for Less, man, you're talking Dubai Police. Like, sorry guys, but that is where I came up with it. And a lot of the sonic branding I've done, from governmental to major institutions to whatever it is, to organizations, sort of came up to me in the shower.
Yeah.
And it's just, so I have this apartment. I got this apartment 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
And I've been living in it ever since. I've wanted to rent it at some point, but for now I'm happy in it. And it's blessed. My house is genuinely blessed. And I always like it's very important to take off, right? And I don't do that. And a lot of people, especially friends and family, people who are close to me, they always tell me, you have to take a day off. You have to take an hour off. You have to take, and I do. And that's when I found my ability to sort of, cars, man.
Cars.
That's it.
Yeah.
To me, to have the ability to have an open road,
Yeah.
a beautiful V8 engine behind you, and just
Cruise.
literally cruise,
Just cruise.
and just forget everything. And I listen to music obsessively. I'm obsessed with music. I listen to experimental electronic music, which is also a big part of my success, because I've never listened to pop music. I've never listened to what people listen to. It's not like, oh my God, I'm so hipster. No, it's just, I've always found my calling in my own way.
Sure.
And I find that beautiful. I mean, I sometimes find myself listening to very, very, very famous music, like Starboy from The Weeknd.
Yeah.
And I love it. And I think it's amazing. But I know why it's not me. And I know what they did. And I know how they got it to be very famous. As a person who creates famous music, I know the formula to creating stuff that can go viral, that can become famous. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
You just need to have what it takes naturally, in my opinion. Or you can learn parts of it. And then, but the best people are born with it.
Sure.
And that's just how it goes. So for me, taking the time off while structuring or restructuring is completely normal. And people's obsession with money, people's obsession with social media is, I mean, I gotta say, it's horrible. It's a disease, man. It's a disease. I find it to be very weird on how people view things in today's world, especially Gen Z and beyond. It's like, guys, you gotta spend more times with yourselves as well. Spend 6 hours on Instagram, 6 hours on TikTok. That's fine. But like, where's you in the process? Where's you when you want a girl? Where's you when you want to find a nice guy? Where's you really? And if you can't laugh about something, don't go into it. If you can't laugh about a serious situation you're in, learn from it. Because, excuse my language, excuse mon français, but you fucked up big time. And it's okay to fuck up. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to break yourself and rebuild yourself. And it's okay to cry. It's okay to go through all of those things. But you gotta understand that the foundations of life is the foundations of self. And without the foundations of self, there's nothing.
Yeah.
So that's how I guess I tried answering your question in my own little way.
Sure. No, and I appreciate that. And I like the different angles that you brought into it, which is I wouldn't have expected those dots to, connect. And sticking on social media for a little bit, because I know that only, I don't know how long ago, but it's recent that you got on social media, right? And now we
2 years.
2 years. Okay.
That's it.
That's very recent.
Yeah.
And now we live in, I think it's pretty clear that we all live in the attention economy, right? Whoever grabs attention, they're the ones who are going to win. And sometimes, even if the quality of your work isn't great, if you can garner...
You can say horrible in garbage.
There you go. And if you figure out how to grab that attention, you will win, which is maybe fair, maybe it's unfair, but whatever it is, that is where we are right now. Now, you said something which I found very interesting, which is all you need is 5 minutes with the right person. Okay, and I thought that was very interesting, and it's yours, right? This is your own.
This is my own quote, yeah.
So you've been so busy that you haven't needed it. You haven't had the time for it. Okay. Clearly, business-wise or financially, whatever, alhamdulillah, you've done very well. You're happy, worked with lots of big clients. Great.
I mean, I wouldn't say I've done very well. It's not like, for me personally, I wouldn't say like I've done. I mean, I'm okay at best. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I'm all right. Everything's fine. It's just it's a joke. Don't judge me. It's a joke. But I love when people are like, Ahmad has a rental. Well, I have some news for you that I was gonna drop on his podcast. I just bought another Ferrari. You know why? Because I'm freaking crazy and I understand that you're gonna die. Do you understand what it means to die? So live your goddamn life. And it's a pretty good statement to have 2 Ferraris before 30 while you're being self-made and still helping your mom and dad because you weren't born with money, unlike some people. No, but honestly,
yeah, I get it.
For me, you have to have the time to find the right people.
Yes.
You have to make that time.
Yeah. So there's my question. So 2, number 1, since everything you've done up till now, and social media we've talked about is the attention grabbing game. 2, and whether that's for a personal brand, whether that's for a podcast, whether it's for a business, it's there. So my question to you is, if you got to this point without needing it and you don't care for it and it's not a big part of life, so what is the reason you decided, now, or 2 years ago, you're like, now is the right time for me to get in there?
I worked my ass off, and people need to know. People need to know that there's an artist out there, an entrepreneur out there who is not, excuse my language, whoring themselves out for attention, but has done more than most people in their industry have done by their age without any education or any background. This is a statement. This is a very big statement. Legacy is important in life. This I believe, right?
Yeah.
Honor, but legacy, yes. Legacy is extremely, extremely important. When I speak of honor, for example, I speak of not only my honor, but the honor of those I love and care for. And those who understand themselves on a layer that get to continue. But with people, you just tell them what they want to hear. And they'll be extremely happy. What I do is that I'm not I'm going to do what you want me to do sort of guy. And that's why social media is not the perfect platform for me all the time, because I only want to put out what I put out. Yeah. I only want to do what I want to do. I don't want any corporation to control me. I don't want any, I don't want to do sponsored posts. I don't want to do whatever. Like, I've done 2 or 3 influencer campaigns, if you want to call them. But realistically, I did them strategically because I'm convincing the clients of much more expensive things.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I'm good at it. It's not like when I'm behind the camera, I'm really good at what I do. So I have no issue with it. If I were to drop everything now and be an influencer, I can gather 10 million followers in less than 5 years. Like, I can do this. It's not hard for me. I've been called the Kevin Hart of the Middle East. I've been called whatever I've been called. I'm not Kevin Hart. I'm not any of those guys. I am short though, but I'm not Kevin. I'm not any of those guys. I'm Ahmad, and Ahmad is a nice name. It's a cute guy with some nice green eyes and so many talents, and he's done his own businesses. And honestly, if a guy like me doesn't deserve some attention or a follow on a social media platform, then who the hell does? What are they bringing to your lives? Are they just bringing mindless entertainment that you want to do? Great, go hang out with them.
Sure.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely not.
I even partake in such content sometimes because I find it funny and simple and cute. Like Adam W. I've been addicted to this guy recently.
He's great.
He's so fun. He's hilarious. I love the guy. I don't know him. I hope to meet him soon. I saw Chris Fade yesterday in the mall, and I know that he knows him. I completely forgot to ask him, but I wanted to be like, hey, can you connect me with Adam? Because I just want to meet the guy and be like, hey, you're funny as hell. I don't want a photo. I don't want anything. I want to tell him you're funny as hell. I want to give him a hug. I want to congratulate him on all of his success. And I think 10 million followers on TikTok. And like,
wow,
man, you are absolutely incredible. And then just leave the room. Those people deserve recognition beyond the usual, oh my God, you know, no. Like professionally speaking, it's important to use social media as a tool, but not beg social media to make you something. You make yourself something. If I wanted to produce content that can go insanely viral, I can just go to anywhere where my voice is playing, take a video of me pranking some random strangers, make a series out of that, and the third video will hit 1 million views.
Yeah.
Easy. It's not that, but I don't have the time to do that. What's that 1 million views gonna make me? Is it gonna make me 10,000 dirhams a day? No, it's not. But that's the money I make on my normal life. And that's what I need. I would like to do some money and help some people. Like recently, I've donated to a charity. Recently, I taught 5 autistic kids, and I created their very own sonic branding. You should check it out.
That's sick.
It's on Khaleej Times, right? Voice of Dubai, Ahmad Haffar, Sonic Branding Autism. Just write that on Google. You'll find the article, enjoy it. Or even check it out on my Instagram. I'm pushing it a lot now. And it's a very heartwarming story. And I didn't do that for the exposure. I did that because these kids don't have what we have. And I wanted to give them something because they love sports. They love energy. These kids were handpicked. So I'm like, you know what? Okay, I'm going to give you your own brand in sound forever. And I'm going to give you that. I'm going to give you the ability to understand, love, care, and grow with and inside of yourselves. And that's precisely what we did. So when those kids left, I didn't think, oh, is this going to go viral? Is this not going to go viral? Don't really care.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, viral is the equivalent of the word, actually the exact same words we used for Corona. And that's not exactly good that it went viral. So not just because it went viral, it's a good thing.
Interesting way to look at it. Interesting.
So for me, I went viral a few times, including one of the videos you talked about. When I done a bunch of stuff, 1 million views here, 2 million views there, whatever it is. I'm more than happy with those, but at the same time, it's not like that kind of necessity for me where it needs to constantly happen. It's going to happen what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And to drop the bomb, I was planning on dropping on you before you continue with your questions, because why not? Might as well. A video is coming out next week, end of next week or early of the week after.
Okay.
That's going to go insanely viral. It's probably going to be the most talked about video in the country for 2 to 3 weeks, and it's about me. All I can tell you is the Voice of Dubai, what the media titled me, and I loved it, because as the Voice of Dubai, I found it to be like, obviously there's a lot of voices in Dubai, right?
Yeah.
But as an artist name, I found it to be extremely fitting to me, because from the music to the motivational speeches to the university speeches that I do to the voiceover work that I've done to the sonic branding that I've done, all of these things are all going viral all the time, realistically speaking. And they're all over Dubai and beyond. So I'm like, you know what? I like that. I think that's pretty cool. But so far, I've used it with the approval of like certain people in the government, because you're not allowed to use it. Like when you see like a title on Gulf News or Forbes or whatever that says Voice of Dubai 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm not allowed to use that. But I have been allowed to use that for a while now.
Okay.
And I'm extremely honored to say that it has been officially confirmed.
That's Mabruk, man. That's amazing.
So what am I talking about? You're going to see it on your social media anyway. I don't need to tell you anything, because I'm not going to be the one posting it. An account with multi-million followers is going to be posting it. And that account is an official account of the country you guys live in.
Oh, wow. That's pretty amazing, man. Wow. So we said the next few weeks, right? So we got to stay tuned for that.
Say a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Okay.
So I'm not really allowed to talk about it right now.
Sure.
So that's really all I can say.
You know what? Even better. You've told us what it is. We now know there's something coming. Let us be on the lookout. Let us be surprised. It'll be more enjoyable that way. Ahmed, I just have a few more questions for you, man. This has been one of the I've done I've done almost 100 of these, and this, I must say, has been one of the most unexpected. I got a stand-up comedy routine in the middle of a recording, which doesn't normally happen. I don't know about you. I don't know about your life and how things work with you, but this is very new for me.
I'm happy to hear, man.
It's been really, really fun, really different, very enjoyable.
It's an honor to be on. It's an honor to be on with Mr. Khaled.
And so, this is a bit of a personal question.
Go ahead.
Obviously, I'm familiar with what your story and that tragic accident, all those years ago. And I know it's something probably not very nice to revisit or talk about. I've heard you talk about it briefly in other podcasts, and I know it must, I can't imagine what that experience was like and how you reinvented yourself and like how you recovered, and look what you've done now. But
that's why I drive fast cars. I drive fast cars because...
In spite of that fear. And knowing that I wasn't the one driving that day, and I was just an innocent victim in the back seat, it pushed me to understand that when you're faced with the dilemma like the one I was faced with, and when you actually genuinely go through what I've been through, from the trauma, physical pain, you can't imagine how it is for a doctor to sit next to you and tell you you're not 1 in a million, you're 1 in a billion with a B. In terms of survival rate. Yeah. I mean, me and my friends fell from a literal bridge down a valley. Wow. Can people even conceptualize the heights that I'm talking about? And because of some lucky reason, alhamdulillah, of course, but of course, it's just the level of luck that I got and luck that I still continue through is out of love. So when you tell me, whatever you're going to ask me, you can ask me. But I'll tell you right now, I fucking love my friends. I fucking miss my friends. And those weren't just some guys. Those are my brothers. Those are your boys.
Especially Ahmad. Especially the driver. He's the one who got me into music. He's the one who got me into so many things since the age of 8. Ahmad was a person, I slept at his house literally as much as I slept at mine. Literally. I had a key to his house, for God's sake. I didn't need an invitation to go to his house. His mom treated me like she was my mom. My mom treated him like she was his mom. Literally. And to lose Ahmad to this day still hurts, but it is definitely one of the reasons why I just don't care what happens anymore. I mean, I almost came to death. That wasn't the only time I came that close to death. That was definitely the closest. I mean, I almost made out with death, bro. Yeah. Dude, genuinely, just to put it into perspective of how close I was to dying. Some people say you had a brush with death, right? Some people say you came so close to dying. Me and death fucked. You understand? Me and death fucked. And the baby that came out of that exercise was me. This guy.
That's a very jarring, very interesting description.
You can censor the word fuck.
No, it's not about the swearing. It's about the analogy is very like striking, and I love that. But what you said was, because you were asked about what did that experience do for you. You said that I learned that there's a reason why I'm alive.
Yes.
So my question to you is, have you found that reason? And if so, what is it?
Finally, someone asked a good question. A proper good question. That's a hell of a question. It's not the cars, it's not the success, it's not the money, it's not the businesses. It's the fact that I always wanted attention since I was a kid. I always wanted people to know that I was in the room. I yearned for that from a very young age. But as I grew up, I realized I didn't need it. And that made a very, very unique switch in my head. When I realized I didn't need people's attention, I wanted my own attention. I was yearning for my own attention the whole time. I was begging myself to listen to myself. I was begging myself to love myself. And I was using other people to fill the void. So for me, I'm not going to die as the guy. You know how many people have Ferraris? It's disgusting. You think they're talented or anything? Most of them aren't. And I'll tell you that. Some of them might even watch this because we're in the same club. Not the Ferrari owners in Dubai. I love you guys. But I'll tell you why. Why do I drive Ferraris? Is it because it's one of the most famous brands on the planet, if not the most famous brand? No. I don't like Lamborghinis. I don't like McLarens. I don't like almost any supercar on the planet other than Ferraris and specific models with Ferrari. Why? Because Ferrari genuinely is passion. And it's the number one brand where I can actually associate myself with as passion. And for me, I have discovered my actual reason on this planet. It's to entertain people. It's not to demand their attention. It's not to beg for their attention. It's not to collaborate with other influencers to grow my network on Instagram, or the 10,000 messages I get in my message request on my Instagram telling me, do you want to grow your network? Do you want to get verified? Do you want to whatever? I just got the confirmation from Meta. I'm finally getting verified. But like, I don't care as much as people may think I care. I go viral strategically. I go viral when I want to go viral, when I have something of value to say. That's when I want to go viral. But to have every single video have over 2 million or 3 million views like Adam W does, he is doing sketch comedy. He needs to go that viral. I don't. What I do is that I earn people's respect. I earn people's word to collaborate, to grow, and to genuinely be one together. And that's my goal. It's to entertain people through all of the outputs that I have, whether it's music, voiceover, comedy, hosting events. I've hosted events where I've taken a completely dead crowd to the most engaging, happy, smiling all over the place. And people book me for events because no one has the added value I have, where I can go say a bunch of voices and they're like, there's no way in hell. They go on Google and there's like 30, 40 articles written about me about the exact same thing they searched. They're like, God damn, he's the guy. Yeah, I know. I'm aware. But I've been a voiceover for only 6-7 years. I've been a musician for only 9-10 years. Well, if you combine all of it, around 15. All of these things that I've done to entertain. I just didn't know it back then. Today, as busy as I am, as little time as I have, I love my life. I love my jobs. I love my team. I love my companies. I love my growth. I love other people. I love collaborating with other people. I don't look at someone based on the Instagram followers they have or whatever. I've got friends who have literally 20 plus million. And Nancy Ajram has, I don't know, 30, 40. I don't even know. I don't go speak to Nancy. Oh my God, Nancy, remember me? I made a few songs for you back then. No. She knows me, respects me, cares for me. All of them do. These are my friends. I don't care who they are. I don't care how high they've reached. What I care about is how much good can I do in this world. And I deserve what I get back. When I go viral, I deserve it. When I do a collaboration, I deserve it. When I make a shit ton of money, I deserve it. I have traded my time in effort of this. And it all started when my car accident happened.
Wow. That was something pretty special. Number one, because, you know, it's funny. Ever since I watched that podcast and you said that, I've been thinking about that for myself, like that question, you know, what is my reason? And to be very honest, I still don't have that answer. But it's very humbling to see someone who is found their reason, and their reason is born out of
necessity,
their passion,
necessity,
and who they are.
Necessity. Passion is necessity. It's a necessity.
When you say passion is necessity, tell me, what do you mean by that?
What's this? What is this?
Water. Bottle of water.
Can you live without it?
No.
That's passion. What is this?
Phone.
Can you live without it?
Probably not.
That's passion. What do you do with them? You can empty this in the sink completely, or just have a little bit of it. Your body tells you, hey, you didn't have enough of me. You can have too much of this and become a fucking idiot. And then what happens? You fucked yourself completely. The reality is you can buy, what is this? 10,000 dirham watch, like the one I have here, or you can buy $100,000 Rolex. It doesn't matter. With this, I use it to literally tell the time. It's not a fancy watch. It's a nice watch. It has some value. It's an asset. I can sell it later. It's great. But I use it to tell the time. I use this to gain information. And I use this to empower my body to continue forward. But none of these have a reason towards them. The reason is in my heart. The purpose is in my heart. These are fueling them. These are assets of fuel. Every single one of them.
Yeah.
This takes me out of depression when I'm crying like a little baby. Not because, oh my God, I have Ferrari. No, this is passion. When you get behind the wheel and drive 250 kilometers on the Dubai Autodrome in Motor City, and you're like, you look at the dash and like, I'm going 250 kilometers an hour. I might as well fly. You feel that that weightlessness in your heart. And you're like, you know what? I'm a darer. Because you did 100 laps on the autodrome, going very slow to learn it, to understand the corners, to understand your car, to understand your brakes, to get better. And then eventually you put your foot down. If you put your foot down in a 600 horsepower vehicle too quickly, you're going to crash real fast.
Yeah.
And Jeremy Clarkson said that. It's not the speed that's the issue. It's becoming stationary very, very quickly, which I found extremely fun. I love Jeremy. I wish Jeremy, I want to meet you.
Bring back Top Gear, man. Honestly.
Love him so. I don't care what he did. The whole punch. I don't care. I love him. And you know what? I'm an asshole too. I've had multiple people leave my company because they don't like working with me. Sometimes energies don't work together, and it's okay.
That's fine.
So the struggles that you go through, and a lot of people who love me understand this. And the current team I have, I'm so blessed with. But the reality is, I don't understand why people are more fueled by hatred than they are fueled by love.
It's easier.
It's so much easier, right?
Of course.
It's so easier to see a guy who made a small mistake while he's driving for you to think that you're what's the word? That you're qualified enough, or that you've justified it enough to look at him and be like, fuck your mom, you piece of shit. You just made a mistake. And a tiny one. I'm not talking a guy who hit you. No, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
I'm talking a small little mistake. There's no patience out there. No. And people are both simultaneously and instantaneously aware of the limit of time that they have on this planet and the fact that they're going to die. But instead of using that correctly, they're using it out of fear.
Yeah.
I don't want to miss out. FOMO, right?
FOMO, yeah.
One of the biggest movements in the history of media, industry, and everything was FOMO. FOMO fueled all of these things in an insane way. Like, the way that people see themselves today is a reflection of who they want to be. Like, I saw a video on TikTok today and it said, did you know that you can buy a Ferrari 360 Modena for as cheap as $60,000? So you don't have to be rich. You just gotta look rich. Like, you think $60,000 is for poor people? You fucking idiot. You know what poor people go through? What they actually go through? It's unbelievable. And then you look at Lebanon, my own country, and you see what people are going through there. There's a Facebook group called Liban Troc, Libantroc. And in that group, you see a lot of people pleading for help and showing proof that they need help. You're from Palestine, for God's sake. You guys are like, the thing is, everybody is in so much shit that they're just trying to endorphin themselves in the positives, but fake positives.
Yeah.
Not the reality of those positives.
Yeah.
They don't do enough research. They don't solve their own problems faster enough. For me, I focus so much on myself that, yes, I got into my own head. Yes, of course, I have a bit of an ego issue. Everybody has. But I've met people who have done infinitely less than me that have egos all the way to God.
Yeah.
So I'm not comparing myself with those guys or those who are more humble than me. No, I'm a very humble person because I understand deep down that I do nothing or want to do nothing but good.
Yeah.
And whoever wants to judge the living shit out of that, go ahead, man. Ain't got no problem with me. But pretty soon, when you hear my voice on a GPS application you use in Dubai, the fuck are you gonna say then when I'm all over the Middle East on an app that does literal GPS? They chose me. Yeah, for whoever's watching this who hates me, who pitched on the same project, guess what? Fuck you. They went with me. A guy half of your age. Honestly.
Yeah.
Or even like, what else am I doing that's humongous? No, I can't talk about that project. But all I can say is I'm potentially collaborating with Hans Zimmer. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
That's
I'm not
sick.
joking. I'm not joking. I'm not making this up. I'm not doing this for it to go viral. I'm dead serious. Whether or not it happens, inshallah.
Yeah.
Inshallah.
Leave it to him.
But the fact that people that big are calling me,
must be doing something right?
and what are others doing? Did you know that Ahmed's a show off? How broke are you? Stop comparing. Stop caring. You want to win? You want to fight me? You want to win what I have? You want to be as good as me at what I do? Go fucking do it. No matter what industry you're in. Go fucking do it. Stop listening to shit. Just go fucking do it. You want to talk shit about people to try to convince other people to work with you? How fucking pathetic are you? That's what I think.
And I think, look, it's funny. Me had a recording yesterday with. She was an amazing guest for the AUD podcast that I run, and we were talking about the authenticity of storytelling in news, and we were talking about how she mentioned, I'm like, what is the biggest thing you learned? And she said that, shout out to Dana if she's listening to this. People are always going to judge you, no matter what you do, no matter how hard you try to make them like you or whatever. And she's like, it's okay if people don't like you, and it's okay if they hate you, and it's okay if they love you, and it's equal on both sides. And one thing I've learned in my life is, honestly, I used to think like, oh, you need like the more friends, the better. And I'm like, actually, that's fucking bullshit. No, I have my group. If I didn't make a new friend for the rest of my life and I was just with these guys, I'm the happiest person in the world. And that's all you need, man. That's really all you need sometimes.
Let me drop another quote that fits with everything you just said and what Dana said. Hi, Dana. If you ever need like voiceovers, Mindloop Studios. If you need, we have over 200 voiceovers. We've got a lot. We've got composers, sound designers, and you've got me. Hi. Pretty cute. Come on. So I'm going to drop another quote here. It's none of your fucking business what people think of you. It is none of your business what people think of you.
I like that.
The only thing you're responsible for is how you see yourself. It's none of your business. If people are judging you, they hate you, whatever it is. If they try to attack you, attack back. If they try to fuck with you, destroy them. By all means. So happens in a war. When someone says, I'm going to go to war with you, kill him. I've been to 2 wars in my life where people tried to harm me. I literally fucked them up. I mean it. And for me, it's like, I don't care what a lot of people think of me, whether they like me or not. What I know is, at the end of the day, I put on a smile. I enjoy myself. And you know what? Whoever I meet, I'm like, hey, man, what's up?
What's up? Yeah, let's have a conversation.
Let's have a conversation about it. What is it that's bothering you so fucking much?
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
We're here for a good time, man. We're not here for a long time. People keep forgetting that. Whoever said that the first time, probably on cocaine, but whoever said that the first time is a great human being. And I mean that. I genuinely mean that.
For sure.
Genuinely, words of wisdom. So yes, for me, it's none of your business what people think of you. It's what you think of yourself. That's the one and only thing. And as long as you can take care of the ones around you, and for those that have actually stuck around to listen to this podcast thus far, thank you. Because you allowed me to enter your heart today. You allowed me to enter your mind. I'm grateful. I'm not better than you. You're not better than me. Nobody's better than anybody. But some people in business, and you need to remember this, in business you can be better than other people. I'm better than most people in my field. And that's okay too. Hans Zimmer is better than most people in his field. So what? That's okay to acknowledge. But you're not better as a human being than anyone else.
Yeah.
For me, eventually I envision myself to be maybe a show host, like Late Night with Jimmy or stuff like that, because I would kill with stuff like that. I'm way too good at it. Comedy will continue going. I've got more brands than you can begin to imagine. All of them. You're going to start seeing one announcement, one article after another. Instagram, LinkedIn, Gulf News, Khalij Times, National, Love in Dubai. Boom, 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 boom. You're going to seem like that, man. I've got them right here on the phone. And I'm finalizing more than 10 brands right now. Can you even begin to imagine? All official Sonic branding, all official voice, it's insane. And for me, to go through that exercise with any form of hatred in my heart or worry or stress, fuck the whole thing.
Yeah, it's not worth it. It's not worth your time.
At all.
It's not worth your time.
And that's what people need to remember. So I'm very grateful that they stuck around. Very grateful. And if you guys don't mind, give this dude a follow. He's like, he's pretty cute.
Would be much appreciated. Yes, I am. Anyway, Ahmed.
See, I like bringing out the natural in people. I like bringing out that love out of people. You saw that beautiful smile of his right now? If you had a smile on your face when you saw his or my smile, you're a damn good person in my eyes.
And I would second that. Ahmed, this has been pretty special. Something that definitely my most unique recording that I've ever done, without a doubt. I really appreciate your time, man. Thank you so much. I have a closing tradition on this podcast. These are questions I ask every guest. I'm sure we've touched on the last 2 questions. I think we've touched on them already in many different forms. I'm just going to ask you them, and so we have like those nice little snippets of if you could summarize it. So first of all, either looking back at your life, either personally or professionally, if I tell you, Ahmed, if I ask you the question, what are you most proud of? What would you say?
The fact that my mother has nothing to worry about for the rest of her life.
That's doesn't get better than that.
And that's not bullshit. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that for the views.
No, a statement like that can't come from that kind of place. To take care of your parents,
Dude,
to give back to that.
this is when I open my WhatsApp and I show you how my WhatsApp looks like with my mom, and I think everybody would really enjoy looking at something like this, just from the emojis to there's just from the kisses and hearts. This is on a daily basis, and this didn't start when I started helping her out. This started since day one. Just
Moms are moms, bro.
it's insane. Or when, you know, I had so many things just put together. Like yesterday, I sent her this: watch popular Voice of Dubai artist Ahmad Haffar teams up with autistic children, helps them create their own music identity. And I explained to her, like, you know, this is what it is, because her English is not perfect. And she sent me an 11-second voice note where she's almost in tears. And then obviously family is very important. And then my brother, whose name is Hussam, who lives here in Dubai, who's always helped me. My brother said, beautiful work and great initiative. Proud of your human part. Like this guy, my brother's 43. I'm the youngest one in the family, so he's the eldest in the family. And this kind of stuff, I look at it and I almost quite literally shed a tear. And with my collaboration so thus far with the UAE government and beyond, it's been an honor. Dubai has made me who I am, and that's why I call Dubai my home. My Dubai, my home. If anyone remembers that campaign. But it really is, man. The UAE is unlike anything I've experienced. I don't understand a lot of it, and I don't need to understand a lot of it, but I do understand how to empower it, and I think that's what matters the most for somebody like me.
And I think I totally agree, and it sounds like I love that you said that my mom doesn't have to work anymore. That's a beautiful thing. I don't think I haven't heard that before when I've asked that question. There's obviously children is something that I've heard many times, but that's a new one. Very heartfelt, very heartwarming. So I really appreciate that, man. And for my last question, Mr. Ahmad Haffar, the voice of Dubai. What is the message that you'd like everyone to take home with them today?
Stop trying so hard. It's not worth it. Stop thinking too much about one thing. Start diversifying. Start understanding how to diversify. Stop thinking the snappier, the shorter, the quicker it is, because everyone's attention span is horrible these days. Sure, if you want to hit the mass media, then yeah, you can do that. But there's more than enough millions of people out there who are more than happy to ingest your content in your own way, from your own perspective and in your own identity. Because believe me, a lot of the people, whether rich, poor, large following, low following, whatever it is, most people that you think are very happy are not happy at all. Yesterday I called a friend of mine. His name is how do you pronounce his last name? I keep forgetting how to pronounce his last name. Dobrik, yeah. So David Dobrik, who's a known videographer worldwide, I met him. His girlfriend got him a Ferrari F8, and he posted a video about it. Went viral, of course.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that. As funny, I saw that on TikTok yesterday. He popped up before. I'm not familiar with him myself, but like, I've seen him around.
Yeah, that video's shooting up, and I gave him a call, and I wanted to verify the story. That's what I wanted to do. I'm like, is this one of your, or is this true story? True story. And his reaction in that video made me almost cry, because it's a legit it's a legit reaction.
Yeah, it's real.
The way he fell on the floor and all of that. And that is literally what happened to me when I picked this up, which is almost the same car that he has.
Sure.
And I'm like, God damn, that boy be growing. And everything I felt in my heart was positive for him, towards him, and everywhere in between. If I go and I make a video with David right now, get 10 million views on the video, 10% of those follow me, I've got 1 million plus followers. He knows me well enough. Most people know me well enough that I don't care as much as people think I care. What I care about, what I hope for, is for you them and everyone to enjoy my content around the UAE, around the Middle East and beyond. And yes, you're going to see this really cool video next week that's going to solidify a lot of the things you may or may not have heard in the UAE about me. It's like, how is he using the title Voice of Dubai, blah, blah. Just wait for it and understand that hard work, not caring about what people think, legitimately takes you beyond your imagination. And the last statement is, the most richest people, financially speaking, you have no idea who they are, you've never met them, and you'll never know their names. And I say that out of experience because I've met some of them. And I am broke as hell. And I mean, I am literally broke compared to these people. So why would I compare myself to them? I don't go to bed with them. But what I do is I help solve their problems. And that makes me money.
I think that is the perfect way to end an incredible episode. Ahmed, man, thank you so much for your time. As I said earlier, this has been pretty special, pretty unique. I've really enjoyed this. It's been so fun getting to know you, and it's been very light and enjoyable, and it's nice to have that chemistry with the guests because you don't always have it sometimes. So I really appreciate your time, man, and everything you've done.
Thank
and
you, Khalid.
Guys, stay tuned, lots of big stuff coming. And of course, if people want to work with you, get in touch with you, where can we find you?
Contact my Instagram or LinkedIn. A lovely lady who's my assistant will get back to you. And check out my pages, man. I mean, it's not a lot, but it's pretty inspiring content. And whenever I feel like it, I post really cool stories. So follow the channel if you feel like it. And mucho gracias. At the end of the day, I'm very grateful for each and every person that's helped me thus far. And you should be for everyone that helps you as well. This is how life should be. And yes, I'm a person who's made work that's heard by over 20-30 million people. And yes, I can still be a normal human being.
Guys, you heard it here. If you want to get in touch with Ahmed, you know how to find him. And as always, please like, share, follow, subscribe to the podcast at hope.it.helps on Instagram. And as always, guys, hope it helps. Peace.
Peace.